Hey, what's up, Andre? Welcome. What's up, Shondale? Welcome. All right. Y'all get comfortable. I'm waiting till everybody comes in, or as many people come in as possible before I really get into this share with you guys. All right. Let me adjust this. Can you guys hear me? Can I get a 1 if you can hear me? Thank you. Yes, you can hear me. As you guys come in, please like the video. Good. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save the video, guys. All right. I'm just trying to alert my friends and family on Facebook. Oh, thank you. Let me say that. All right, Breezy 2423. Thank you. Flattery gets you everywhere with me. Thank you. All right, Daniel, what's up? Shout out to Lisa Frings, what's up? Immortal Star Family representing. Bright Light Sights. Jazzy Girl, what's up, fam? Riche 87, what's up? I look 35. Thank you. I appreciate that. If y'all know how old I really am based on man-made numbers, y'all really be shocked. But I don't really plug into that. But this is a perfect example of someone who really takes care of themselves, someone who owns all that makes me uniquely me. I don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs. I've never been one of those people who loosely slap around, and that's no judgment or shade against anyone else. But, this is who I'm basically someone who has found my balance and I own it. And to be someone who has had a very challenging path, to be where I am at this age, in this place in my life, I am living proof that what I share with you or what I've shared with you guys over the years, it works. You just have to apply it in the same way that all of the prophets and great teachers and shamans that have come before us, I'm just standing on their shoulders. And when you take good care of yourself, and most of all your mind, your body will reflect that. Let me give some more shout outs here. Hey, oh, thank you. You miss me. I miss y'all too. I miss doing this, but I've always taken breaks away from social media because social media has become very, very toxic. And it's not because the majority who are on social media are toxic. What is happening is that those who are one with that toxic wavelength, they get promoted the most. And then following that are those who are not really doing any real self-reflection or any real self-work. They engage with that kind of energy and they bombard the internet with sharing, liking, and overwhelming those of us who would rather not partake in that kind of energy. So for especially the past 6 years, I made a deliberate effort to take long, extended breaks away from social media, but that does not mean that I stop working, because I continue to work, but just in a different way. Cindy, love to you too. Misty World, what's up, fam? Magical, Kaylin Dingo, adult, what's up? Hey, Veronica, what's up? Oh, Veronica, you have to leave us. Okay, well, definitely watch later because I'm going to save the video. Cosmic Damien. What's up, Cosmic Damien? That toxicity is what makes people stay and watch ads. They do it on purpose. Yes, they do. It's very, very calculated. See, the internet as a whole is really a mad psyop. I'm very clear on this. They're watching everything. They're watching everybody. And it is also being used to push agendas. I'm very clear on that. So those of us who see it for what it is, we get in, we get in where we fit in, and we use it in the way that best suits us, and just let the energy be out there, because the internet represents artificial intelligence. It is AI. It is a mind of its own. And this is why it is important that we continue to represent and put ourselves out there, because we're aiding energetically to the balance. If we withdraw, which many a times I thought about just leaving it all behind because it became that toxic, because even though I'm at an age now where I can control my readings, I'm more in control of what affects me. But if I become overwhelmed, I can only do but so much. But still, we have to remain vigilant, find our balance, and stay anchored and balanced where we are needed, because we are definitely needed. And when I say we, I'm talking about those of us who see the game for what it is and who still cares enough to sacrifice and give of ourselves to still make as much of a difference as possible with what we have to work with. We don't get the mass support as everyone else. This is why they stay thriving. You notice that those who are deceptive and pushing the agenda, their people support them. And I'm not just talking about with likes and shares. They support them with donations. And that fortifies them and make it that much more difficult for those of us who are not getting that support. And it is sometimes, yes, very discouraging for us, because look at it for what it is. It's not easy doing what we do. It's never been easy. I didn't just wake up 10 years ago on this. I came in the world seeing and decoding the world very differently from the norm. I've always been different. And just imagine what it was like for me coming up. I didn't have social media. I didn't have the kind of environment that I helped to create, where people who thought and saw the world very differently can have an outlet. So it was extremely difficult for me. But at the same time, I understood that it was necessary for me to go through that path, because as someone who is a trailblazer, that's not ego tripping, it is what it is, and someone who has taken on a mantle of those greats who have gone before us, I take what I do very, very seriously. And there are certain ingredients that goes into this job and this responsibility that isn't pleasant, that we must go through so that we can stand strong and be a beacon of light. And as you can see, I'm someone who is standing strongly in spite of all of this, in spite of having so many things stacked against me coming up, in spite of not having a support system that really got the way I saw and interpreted and decoded the world. When I was younger, even though I had this ability, I didn't have control over it. It would come and go. But one of the reasons why I was unable to control it the way I can now, it's because of the low self-esteem, because of the lack of support, because of being a misfit and an outcast, because of the mockery and people talking bad about me and no one really wanting to be my friends. There were very few. And that really hasn't changed a whole lot, but it has changed. But I still remain at the core of who I am. I never try to change who I am. You guys can go look at my videos from the time I started to now. You saw I never made videos bashing anyone else specifically. Y'all never see me doing anything in terms of trying to get views just by following trends. I do what my elders, my cosmic elders, guide me to do, what my higher self guide me to do, and what I feel is most important. And most of the time, it's not what's popular, it's not what's trending. But that's what a trailblazer does. And I am again showing you guys by example that you all are also doing the same thing in your own right. There's some guys who are on the internet who have a very big audience, and these guys, I'm not going to say who they are, these guys became inspired by me, and they're reaching far more than me. So you see, even when we are in a position where we appear to be buried and quote unquote irrelevant, that term that's constantly thrown around, that if you're not looking relevant, had big numbers which can be manipulated, and big following, or a lot of money, or rich, or a celebrity, or celebrated in some kind of way, somehow they have convinced the world that anyone who is other than that is irrelevant, and the people feed into that. But again, we must see it for what it is and not jump on that wavelength and get caught up. So again, I'm still standing, being true to me, and I'm inspiring you guys to do the same by example. Sending you love too, Misty World. Hey, what's up, Sabrina? Art Life, what's up, fam? Let me give a special shout out to my cousin Evita. I told her a long time ago that I would give her a shout out. She started her own YouTube channel a while ago, and I neglected to shout her out and mention her channel. What I'll do is I'll put the link to her YouTube channel in the description box. And what I find too, when I post the link, even when I pin it on my channel, the gatekeepers of YouTube hide the link. So when you guys come to any of my videos, please look in the description box, because if I post a link in the comment section, they often hide it. Special shout out to Larry, my fam, Larry Holloway, who's been with me almost from day one. We forged a really good connection over the years. He has his own podcast. I told him I would give him a special shout out because he's on the same wavelength that we're on, in his own way, using his voice and his wisdom to make a difference. I am going to link his podcast in the description box as well. So you guys, please look out for that and support him. Special shout out to Mario. You know who you are, fam. I have not forgotten about you. Miss Quiet Queen, what's up, fam? We're going to talk soon. Speaking of which, Miss Quiet Queen, Gaia Earth, and I, we have agreed we are going to do in the future group conference videos. So we need you guys to be looking out for that. We're going to start putting our energies together and making our own unique wave. Special shout out to, let me see. And if I forget you guys, please don't take it personal. I got a lot that I want to say and share, and I like to do these live videos off the top of my dome for the most part. Although when it comes to this coronavirus, because so many of you guys have been asking about it, I have written down a lot of notes because there's so many layers and angles and directions and so many reads and feeds I was getting on it. I'm not going to go into everything that I got on it, but I'm going to share just enough for you guys to take what you need. And once you take what you need, you can do whatever you want with it. Special shout out to Kat. Kat, what's up, fam? I'm going to call you real soon. Special shout out to my cousin Debbie, my cousin Lily. I love y'all very much. They have been rocks and pillars in my life as well. Special shout out to my family, all of you guys, because I know a lot of you watch. I have former co-workers who watch. Shout out to you guys. I know you're still in there. Special shout out to you guys. Eyes open to all truths. What's up, fam? Carrie Pete. Hey, fam. What's up? I am Hotep. What's up, fam? Now, you know, special shout out to you. You leave some of the best comments ever. And I know, see, real recognize real. I know you got that connection, and you're making your mark in a more subtle way. But trust me, your impact is long reaching. Believe me when I tell you, it really is. So I want to encourage you to keep doing what you need to do. And at some point, you're going to come on up and, kind of make your presence known and do what we're doing. That's coming, no doubt. But I know that there's certain things that have to play out before you get to that point. And I'm telling you, you are exactly where you need to be. Welcome, y'all. I'm trying to allow more people to come in before I get into this coronavirus thing. And yes, that is some of my original music playing in the background. I don't want to deal with any copyright issues, so I'm letting some of my own tracks play in the background. Is everybody out there feeling good? Give me a 1 if you're feeling good, 2 if you're fair, 3 if you feeling kind of down and disenchanted in any kind of way. Good. All right, Kevin. Good. You feeling good? I'm feeling good. And y'all can see I'm not tripping on all this stuff that's going on around us, because when you see it for what it is, and when you know who you are, and when you're anchored, the noise just don't get to you. I deal more with things that are going on on the family front, and they are for the most part good. No family is perfect. All families have issues, but for the most part, my family, we're holding it up. We're representing. All right, I see one. All right, Machivo Vantaz or Vantaz. You're fair. That's good. We can work with that. The King 2829. What's up? Special shout out to Gaia Earth. Gaia Earth needs more support from you guys. And when I say this guy has taken a lot of hits, and he is being targeted for suppression as well, because he is a contactee. A lot of us who, especially those of us who are melanated, we are definitely being suppressed on social media more than anyone, because we don't fit the narrative when it comes to anything that deals with extraterrestrial, the supernatural, or what have you. We don't fit the narrative. So a system that is in place that need a certain kind of program and script in place for it to run successfully cannot have people coming in and projecting a script or program that would challenge that narrative. So here's why a lot of us are being blatantly suppressed and blocked. But Gaia Earth is a contactee, and I know who the contactees are. And especially those of us who are melanated. Now, we have a lot of people who are out here who are not even contactees. They're reading books from other people and getting information from those of us who really are contactees. Those of us who really are interacting with extra dimensional beings. They hide those of us away, and they got their puppets in the forefront getting information from us as if they are contactees when they really aren't. And then those who are in the forefront who are contactees, they are for the most part pushing an agenda that's not really serving the majority. And you know who is real versus those who are heavily promoted. Those who are heavily promoted, I don't care what category they are a part of or serving an agenda that is not necessarily serving the highest good of everyone, whether they know it or not. That's just the truth. When we realize who is really controlling still for now, when you see that for what it is, you truly understand why it is that certain channels are pushed to or greenlighted to be successful versus others. So Gaia Earth is a real contactee, and his channel is absolutely being suppressed. And this brother is someone who come from rough beginnings, who has done a 360 with turning his life around and genuinely cares about making a difference in the world and leaving the world a little better than what it was before he came. That's what we're all really supposed to do. And he has these all natural products that I buy. He's never given me any freebies. He may have given me something as a token of appreciation, but I've never shouted out anybody here because they paid me or anything. It's either because I really believe in them, I see them for who they really are. They really have something that I know that will be a benefit to the people. I don't just share and shout anybody out for clout. And you guys notice I've never, even in the beginning when my channel was at its was doing its best or performing its best, I would always shout out people that I felt had something to offer the whole. So Gaia Earth definitely needs you guys' support with the vegan products. Even if you're not a vegan, these are products that you can still make use of or at least recommend to those people who would appreciate it. Again, we need more support from you guys so that we stay encouraged and inspired to do what we need to do. We need help too. We're not an island. Oh, you're welcome. I am Hotep. That I am HTP, is that short for I am Hotep? I really don't watch the news, so I'm not in a panic. Yeah, I don't watch much TV or the news or any of that, but I'm telling you, I have been getting so many calls, so many emails, so many texts from everybody about this coronavirus. And honestly, when I talk about it, I don't want to keep giving it a lot of attention. There are a lot of people who are blowing it out of proportion, which is aligning with that secret agenda energy. And when I chimed into to do a reading on this, I saw the worst outcome and I saw the best outcome. But no matter which trajectory that we end up on, they're going to be a bump. They're going to be bumps and bruises. It's not going to be easy, because I said years ago, this whole ascension process happens in the mind first. There were people who were out there, again, the people who are the agents, they're putting it out there like everyone is going to ascend, and it's going to be a physical thing and it's going to happen overnight. No, this thing has been incrementally happening for years. It's just now coming to a head. So I always said you're going to see the very best of humanity and you're going to see the very worst. But what is happening on the internet, those who want to maintain the system, the status quo, the way it is, they are making sure the very worst of humanity is seen. Even on the TV, on the television, they make sure the very worst is shown so that everyone has the perception that the world is just really falling apart, going to hell in a handbasket, which in reality, there's far more good going on. But that's not being broadcast, mass produced, mass liked, and shared. So when people who don't know any better look at and engage in this stuff, they align themselves with that energy and start not knowing any better, start literally bringing that reality into their life, and they wonder why their life is in shambles. Like right now, even with everything that's going on, there are people right now eating good, money still in the bank. They're not worried about nothing. Why? Because they're not plugging it into that energy. They're not living in fear. They're not like these religious fanatics out here thinking all this means that their religious belief is the absolute truth over everyone else. That's not what this means. What is happening now is a natural cycle that happens every 2,000 years. It manifests itself in different ways. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs is. It happens regardless. Let me drink a little water. No matter what your religious belief system is, the prophets and the way showers who have come before and our ancient ancestors, they documented these natural cycles. And all that has happened is that men in connection with interdimensional beings, okay, who are not the one true God of all of creation. And I got a video coming up about that. When they came down and took over and colonized the world, what they did was they created these religions. Men with agendas and politics and power, thirsty for power, created these religions. So these people are thinking that all this is happening to support their religious belief system. Unbeknownst to them, this is something that happens every 2,000 years, and it just manifests and play out in different ways. And so those who are in connection with this, with the bloodline who's controlling and ruling, they simply set forth agendas, and they set forth a belief and plant a belief in the people's mind that these things are the will of the ultimate all true source, almighty creator. And when it plays out, people are going to believe this is all the work of the one true source. Again, I'm going to do a video. I got a video. I already done it. It's already done. I'm going to upload that video for you guys to watch, because you guys have to understand the power of the mind. They understand how our mind works. More and more people are saying it now, but you guys can go back and look in the archives. I said it like 10 years ago, that everything that we see is really in the mind. When we incarnate in physical life, it is a mind particle projected into these physical bodies, perceiving from this very restricted, limited perspective. So we are really in the mind of source. Source, or what you would call God, that's too small of a word, but source is a massive mind. It is an intelligence. It is a force. And what is happening is that a lot of us don't know that. We're not tapped in enough to recall this or to understand this. There's no real solidity. Solidity is an illusion. I've always said this, what we see is an illusion. I'm not saying that the experience and what we go through is an illusion. What I'm saying is thinking that this is the only reality and that it's fixed and it's solid and everything that you go through and that this is all who you are, that's a part of the illusion. It's not real in the way you guys perceive it to be. But those of us who have ascended in the mind, remember, you ascend in the mind first and everything else will follow. You see it. It's like looking at this from behind the scenes. You get it? So those of us who see it for what it is, this is why we don't trip. Even if the worst case scenario play out, so what? We don't really die. It's not real in the way you guys think it is. So I'm sharing this aspect so that the people who have never seen a video stop aligning with that wave of fear, terror. Oh, this is God's wrath and all that BS. That's not what it is. Now, if you align yourself with that belief, that's going to be your reality in your mind on the frequency and vibration, that you are on. But don't try to push that over here, because I'm not buying it. I'm not there. And most of the people who watch me, we're not there either. We're not feeding into that. Now, I'm also going to talk about what the Christ is. The Christ is not about one man named Jesus. It's not. It's way bigger than that. Again, that has become the symbol of something that has everything to do with what this time that we're going into. It has everything to do with this ascension. Everybody is giving it their own definition and term, but in a way we all have a piece of the truth, but no one has all of the truth. So this is where having an open mind and not living in fear and hating, all this hate on the internet and all this judgment and condemning and all this stuff, that's that energy that works with that antichrist energy. Because if you were really one with the Christ, the real Christ, you wouldn't be feeding into that stuff. You would not be giving into it. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving people information and sharing information from a righteous place, meaning you're sharing it because you want the very best for that person. But if you feel like you have to destroy, tear down, bash, and come after someone to get clicks, likes, and clout, and more money and more subscribers, you're not on that Christ wave. And this is how and why so many people are now disenchanted and angry and pissed off, because their favorite guru or leader has been exposed. More of them will be exposed as being very deceptive. And instead of getting angry with themselves for trusting and lacking in their discernment, not working on their self and extending in the mind to see through all of that, instead of getting mad at them, they want to get mad at the whole movement, the whole spiritual conscious community, and try to throw all of us under the bus. No, y'all need to get mad at yourself. Because while you're busy paying attention to someone that's making you hot below the waist, instead of making you charge from the neck on up, you would have been able to see through all that. So y'all know, my family and they'll tell you, when I start getting into this kind of energy that I'm in right now, when I'm speaking from the heart, from the core, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm just going to say it the way it is. So don't try to throw us, everyone under the bus because you made the wrong choices, because you lacked discernment, because you didn't really do any real deep self work or self reflection. Oh, what's up? What's up? Particle thinker. Oh, thank you. What's up, Travis? Shout out to Travis. What's up, buddies? Shout out to Randis. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Marie. There are two special Maries. They know who they are. One in the UK and the other Marie. Marie, I want you to know if you have, which I feel you have tried to reach out to me to the email address that you have on file. I have not been. I've been locked out of that email address for years. I feel that you have tried to reach out to me. If you need to reach out to me, please reach out to me by leaving a comment. I know when it's you, when you leave a comment underneath my video so that I can reach out to you. You've been on my mind off and on over the years, as a matter of fact, but it just would escape my mind to bring it up. Travis, you're going to have to watch the live after it's done. I'm going to speak more about this coronavirus and the implications, and I'm not going to share everything that I get on this because I know how people would take that and run with it and spread it in the realm of fear. I'm staying in the realm of self-reflection, self-accountability, and fearlessness, and not feeding into the hype and the terror and not worrying. Hey, what's up, lovely 11? What's up? Let me see. D Whoop, what's up? You need a hold on. It's going too fast. You need to block these trolls in here. Let me see. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I can't. I'm going to have to make some of you guys moderators because as I'm speaking, I'm not seeing. I did have a couple of people who were going to moderate, but they had emergencies. The couple of people who usually help me with my channel, they had emergencies. They couldn't be here. Never say you broke. Poetically mistaken. Let me go back. Hold on. Who's being negative? Just tell me instead of me. Give me the name of the person, y'all. Thank you, Immortal Star family. And see, this is the thing. These trolls and these people come in with their negative comments. I have some thick skin. There's not one thing anybody can come in here and say to me or say about me that's going to hurt my feelings because I know who and what I am and I own it. You will never shame me and you will never make me second think anything. Y'all, I'm probably one of the few who have been out here. This is the 11th year I've been doing this with not the most support, and I've been consistent, still being true to myself. So y'all think y'all gonna come in here and say something that's gonna hurt my feelings and make me retract what I'm saying? You take that mess somewhere else. You got the wrong one. Okay, I see. Hold on, guys. So now, again, that's a troll. I have the ability to see people for who they really are, and I can really go in on this person, but I'm not supposed to use it for that reason. But I would tell that person, you need to go somewhere and work on yourself because you think you're hiding behind that avatar, but trust me, you are being watched. Just as they're watching us, they are being watched. You think you hiding? I got news for you. Keep thinking. You don't escape nothing. None of us escape anything. We're all going to be held accountable for what we put out there. We're all going to be held accountable for our own actions in one way or the other. But most people want it the hard way. That's why I say some people, when you see people bumping and bruising and getting it hard, y'all don't see what their energy stream. All you see is that person. what what most people can't see is the energy stream that they created. So what looks like a person who appears to be innocent getting mistreated in life, a lot of times that's their own mess coming back on them. That's why I always say some people gotta burn to learn. That's why there are some souls here, right here on in hell, because they in and they thought in another lifetime they would kill, steal, mistreat, and talk down and do all this kind of stuff, and thought they were going to just die and that would be it. The joke was on them. Now they back here getting their mess handed to them, and they angry and mad and don't understand why their life is the way it is, and still not doing any self work, which is going to mean they just going to recycle and come right back into hell. The Bible has a lot of truth in it. It has agendas. Yes, it has scripts. It has fabricated stories in it, like make believe in it. It has some of everything in it, but it does have a lot of truth in it. And but what they've done is they've written it in a way where people think it's what is metaphysical or symbolic. They make it like it's literal. So the hell is really symbolic of incarnating or being sentenced, so to speak, and I've said this many times before, sentenced to a lifetime or many lives in prison, entrapped in a carbon body with flesh and bones to feel the pain and suffering that you've inflicted. Because none of us can escape what we create, family. That's just the truth. Okay, is this person still here? Now, also know that some of these are bots and some of these are agents working on behalf of the system. And like I said, there is nothing any of them can come in here and say that would have weight over here, or anybody in this form who is carrying a righteous heart. But remember, what you project to us is going to come back to you swiftly, quickly, and justifiably. Never forget that. What's up, Gaia? Gaia. Let me see. Y'all see my cat? Let me say, I'm gonna put her up in the camera. Isn't she beautiful? This is Yazzy. I love animals. I love dogs. I love cats. Eventually, I'm going to get me a golden retriever. I've already seen them. What's up, fam? New people coming in. Akeem, what's up, Akeem? F off, what's up? Yeah, thank you. Her name is Yazzy. Someone causing trouble already. Don't even give them any attention or energy. All right. Let's get into this corona conversation. Let me stop the music. All right. Thank you. I got your back. Thank you, fam. Yes. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, it's Yazzy, not Jazzy, with a Y. Yazzy. Yeah, Yazzy is. Cats are. Cats do a lot of spiritual work. I talked about that in my video. I can't think of the title, but if you guys have not seen it, check it out. Is a cat, an image of a cat as the thumbnail. Now, how many of you guys know about my alternative channel? Before I get into this corona, I have another channel. I have not posted on there in a few months as well. On that channel, I talk about usually controversial social issues that are having a covert and now a overt negative impact on society. Yeah, Cosmic Me is the channel. Um, if you guys have not checked out the new content on that channel, by all means, subscribe to that channel. Check it out. Yeah, I talk a lot about these download guys, and it's not done in a way to judge them or condemn them. I do it in a way to bring understanding from both sides and both perspectives, and to show how a collective creates cancerous behavior within the whole. Because until the collective mentality changes, until we ascend and seek understanding or ultra standing, we're going to keep aligning ourselves with the reality where these people feel like they have no other choice but to pretend and lie and be something other than themselves. And they will be there with others who are doing the same thing but in a different way, and will be attracted to and magnetized to others who are reflecting that back to them. I'm all about encouraging people to live their truth, so as long as they're not breaking the laws and harming other people. Universal law forbids infringing or impeding on the will of others. And this is how a lot of us keep getting in trouble, because we think our religious beliefs give us right to impede and impose on others. No, that's an error, and that's a trick. Again, I mentioned that in the videos that I got coming. I got a video coming out about contracts and agreements on a physical plane and spiritual contracts and agreements. I got a video coming out about the Bible. Is it the real true word of the one almighty force source? Oh, I got some really good videos coming out, so you guys definitely need to stay tuned. And what I'm going to do differently this time around, I'm going to upload videos on a set schedule. For this Astral Boo Baby channel, I will be uploading a video every Wednesday. So you guys need to make a note of that, because YouTube does not notify all of my subscribers. Only about 400 of my subscribers are notified. This is why my videos they peak at about 400 and slowly move from that point on. And this is what commonly goes with channels that are being ghost banned and ghost blocked. So if you do not get a notification, come every Wednesday. I won't give a specific time because the timelines are different, but check all day Wednesday for a new upload, and I will be doing that until further notice. Again, on this Astral Boo Baby channel, I will be uploading a new video every Wednesday. Awakening is quite lonely, but it has gotten more rewarding over time. Yes, and that's because while the attention is being given to those who are still asleep or pretend to be woke, fake woke people, and all this negativity and drama, there's a huge awakening happening. It is happening. We've been saying it for years. It's gone to another level. Now that leads me to this read on the corona. What I wanted to do first was to get a calibration read on the planet. And let me tell y'all guys something. Even in spite of everything that is going on right now, the planet is still calibrating at 802. What does that mean? 1,000 being the highest. 1,000 calibration basically means that the Christ is here. People talk about the return of Christ, or God is coming. People got different ways of labeling what is happening right now. But what that ultimately means is that once the planet hit 1,000, the veil will be totally lifted. You will begin to see everything for what it truly is, and that will be within the presence and the vibration and the frequency of the Christ consciousness. That means every being who has achieved this level of consciousness will be on the same wavelength. So when the Christians, for instance, talk about the rapture, it's not happening exactly in the literal sense of the word. What that really means is that for them, their mind, eye, and their awareness, if they so apply the teachings of the Christ, the teachings of the prophets and the messiahs who have gone before them and have unlocked and become one with the Christ consciousness, they will have ascended or elevated to such a level that they will literally wake up in a reality that is one with the Christ. And again, I can break that interpretation down to no matter what your belief system is, I can apply that to your belief system, because regardless of what your belief system is, if your system is telling you something major is happening where the old world is falling apart, you guys are on the same wavelength but may not have all of the right components in place to really interpret it in the way that it was intended. And again, this is where the discernment comes in. And a lot of people still not tapped into their discernment, you know? So the planet is calibrating at 802. That means we're not that far from the Christ level consciousness. Now, what does this mean? This means that those who have been in control and dominating for so long, they are resisting. And with the resistance, they're using everything within their arsenal and within their power. Now, it's not just one group. You have two power structures going in at each other. So you have one who typically uses things like what is happening now. They create it to create a fear in the people and terror and worry and anxiety, because when billions of people get on that wavelength, that helps to fuel the resistance of the acceleration process. So naturally now these people are using and exploiting every negative scene or scenario to try to get people into that state of fear and panic. And even when you don't know it, what you are helping when you play into that. So we are better off focusing on those of us who are calm, who are cool and collected, who are showing by example what we speak. That's the best way to deal with it. So that means the energy is hitting the planet so hard and so fiercely that even in the midst of all this chaos, the planet is still heating up at such a point it is relentless, and it's just going to increase as it increases. You're going to see an increase of the perception that all the negativity and all the wicked and evil is happening for everyone. No, it's not happening for everyone. It is happening for those of us who are locked in on that frequency, on that vibration. Meaning those who are, very negative, like the trolls that are in here. That all of them, they're going to be with that energy, and they're going to experience hell on earth. They're gonna merge and roll with the hell on earth. That the worst case scenario, they're going to end up on that side of the ball. And some of them already know. They already know they're doomed. So they don't care. They don't have nothing to lose. Their whole angle is, well, I pretty much accepted my fate, so I'm going to figure out where I can get in and fit in. This is why so many of them want to chase clout and want to be a part of the secret order, so they don't be a part of the slave caste, those who will be enslaved all over again for the next multiple thousand-year cycle. And that's just coming from the source, because I'm just a vessel. I'm just a messenger. Now, when I was reading, when the minute I heard about this virus, what I do is I tune into what my first impression of it is, and it felt like it is a foreign situation. And what I did was everything that I felt, I go and I get my chart and I will confirm it with my chart, and then I'll write down my notes. This is how I come to my readings. Now, remember, no matter what we share in terms of readings, just as calibration levels change and switch, so does timelines. They've been manipulating timelines for a long time. Miss Quiet Queen and I, we've talked about this a long time, and those timelines have been manipulated mostly to thwart those of us who are anchors and pillars, who are holding these energies in place and seeing it for what it is, to throw us off of our square. But again, as you see, many of us are still here. We're still standing, appear to be unscathed. We have some bumps and bruises, I'm not going to lie, but look at it. Knock on wood, okay? I don't have any health problems. I'm in my right mind. I got family and friends who got my back, who support me, love me unconditionally, and the cosmic family. There it is. Make no mistake about that. The interdimensionals who are on the wavelength that hey, I can say a lot more about that, but not yet. Now, if people are freaking out just over this, can you imagine how they would act if that bill really comes down? They see all these ships that are around the earth right now. Think about it. All right, there were rumors that this virus came from people eating wild animals. I'm not getting that. This was definitely created. It was taken from animal, but it was synthesized in the lab and purposely released from a foreign host. I'm not going to get into the names. The reason why this pandemic is playing out unlike the ones before is because it's not homemade or homegrown. Fill in the gaps, okay? This was created as a bioweapon to target primarily. Now there are always casualties of wars now. Now listen to me closely. To target primarily people of Europe who are dominant in the with the European genome or the European gene. That's the first thing I got, and I confirmed it with my chart, and it was confirmed. Now, what is happening? Those who are becoming infected. Anyone can become infected, but those who are highest risk of actually it really taking root are those who, like they say, I confirmed it to be true. People who had very weak or compromised immune system, because there's a difference. Or people who are dominant with European gene. Now, some of y'all try to say this is being racist. I'm just reporting the way it come across. And even when you look at the stats and look at the numbers, you will see who is overwhelmingly actually passing away from this. So the numbers back up what I was reading on this. Again, just because someone has it does not mean the virus is going to take them out. Most people who are diagnosed, who will be diagnosed with it, will not pass away from it. The people, again, who are most at risk, I just shared it. I'm not going to keep repeating it. Spread the love, not the fear. Yeah, spread the love, not the fear. And I'm trying to choose my words very carefully because I know how people can listen and hear what they want to hear and go run with it. I'm just telling you the intent behind this virus was of a very negative intent, but it's being used and spun to it's being spun in both directions. You got one side who is using this whole situation to punch up the fear, the terror, to exploit, to make more money, for political reasons. There's politics all around this, but you also got those who are spinning it and using it as a way to encourage the people to use discernment, to stock up on food and supplies, which is something we should have been doing all along. Fresh water, to connect with family and friends, to self-reflect, to again get in our center and become one with that more calming, peaceful, balanced energy. So you have two extremes going on, and it's just the friction is going on, and the majority of us are like in the middle. So what reality will play out? The very worst of the worst, and some bumps and bruises, but ultimately it's leading towards the collapse of the old to make way for the new. Bumps and bruises along the way, but when the dust settle, you will be good, versus recycling and living on the reality where those who are one with negativity, darkness, are still in power and control. The choice really is up to the people. I don't fear this coronavirus at all that everyone is panicking about. That's the reason why I don't watch the news anymore either. I choose to be relaxed and stay positive as possible. And you're right, Shondell. The thing is, even with the TV that's off, you got people who are plugged in to all of that. they're constantly calling and they're in fear. They want to, bring that energy around those of us who don't want it. Some of y'all are just going to have to love people from a distance, because that is partly some of their jobs, to try to, infect others with that energy. And family or no family, you're going to have to get to a point of loving family from afar. The two powers are the ones who are still striving to maintain the status quo, meaning they're equally powerful. And when I'm talking about nations, it's represented in nations, but behind the scenes, it's bigger than that. So one, truthfully, rightfully, is in got the one side really does have the power when you look at it politically, economically, and so on and so forth. The other has long since lost their footing, but still have military might. Okay, read between the lines. So you have both wanting to maintain power and dominance, or wanting their rightful place as a world superpower. And when you have people who are more control about material power and controlling people, that's service to self energy. So there's infighting within those circles. But within those circles, both sides are exploiting all of this and ramping it up and amping it up and making all of it seem worse than what it is. But they're also not telling the whole story. Again, there's a specific group that's really being targeted with this, although in casualty awards, others can be affected other than the targets. But that does not mean, again, if you are tested positive, it is a death sentence. I see this on the timeline that I'm on. This is going to fizz out, but they don't get comfortable, because there are going to be others. There's another big event on the horizon, and I'll tell you guys what it is. I already put it out there years ago, and should it unfold, let's put it like that, should it unfold, I will reference you guys to that, what I said 4 years ago. So someone as so is this virus see, I don't want to get into that black and white thing. What I'm saying is that it looks that's the intent, because this is the thing. You would really have to be deaf, dumb, and blind not to know that there have always been those who have created viruses targeting the poor, darker people, or what have you. That's why I say we are at a time where everyone is getting a mess handed back to them. So when you're talking about a superpower, the best way to get a superpower to collapse, you turn it in on itself. So now another superpower is doing to another superpower that they've been doing to the people and to other people for their hue for how long? So it's backfiring. Some of this is cause and effect. I don't like to use the word karma. I like to use the word cause and effect. So everybody is getting their asses handed to them in some kind of way. This energy is forcing it. That's just the reality. That's just the way it is. And if you look at anybody who've been living foul for a long time, look at what's happening in their life. Look at businesses that have been started under very wicked, with bloodshed. That's why this country is collapsing on itself. Anything that was built under bloodshed, lies, and deception, and this new energy is melting and falling away. It has to, because that Christ energy cannot exist in that same space. So yes, some of this, again, casualty awards. I'm not saying white people will be wiped off the earth. I'm not implying it. That's why I say I try to watch what I say, because someone will take it and try to make it bigger than what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the intent of this virus is for. That's why they're locking down all the borders and everything, because now it is something that's primarily affecting the elites or those who are associated with the dominant class. I don't know what else to say. I'm just a messenger. Y'all just gotta keep it real. Y'all know when they tell me and push me to say something, I have to put it out there. But they also guide me and tell me not to say certain things. So I'm being very, very cautious and respectful here. So again, this is going to this is going to dissipate. But those of us who are on the Christ side or who are on the side of righteousness, what we need to do is we need to get more into helping our family, people who are in need, self-reflect, find our balance. We're going to have to isolate ourselves even more so than everyone else because we are pillars, we're anchors. We already have that energy in us. This is why you notice when we walk around, we come around, when we walk in a room, you notice people either look at you and give you the ugly eye, or they look at you or they move away from you and you feel like a plague, and they're looking you up and down, and or you walk in a room and you are, it's either you, they notice you and they project this hostile vibe towards you, or you're totally invisible to them because you're not meshing with the vibration that they're giving off, or you are so strong in your vibration it's irritating them. They get upset about it. Okay, people who have compromised immune systems, because this is really an upper respiratory type virus. So people who have asthma, people who have had a history of pneumonia, people who have pre-existing health problems, people who are getting high, getting drunk, see, smoking that GMO weed and all of that, y'all have to be extra careful. I have to tell y'all this. Y'all, those of us who are sharing our bodies loosely, thinking it's just sex, y'all have to again, you have to reel all this stuff in. I'm putting it out there. There are trolls that watch this now. You know, there's still a little time for some of these people, but for most, the line has already been drawn. So it's time to self-reflect, go within, and take advantage of this quarantine and this separation to go within, meditate, take baths, cleanse your auric field, cleanse your aura, clear your mind. Don't engage in all this fear-mongering mess that's being promoted and shattered and overtly shared on the internet. Disengage from and I encourage you guys to do this a long time ago. Detox from the internet. Of course, the TV, television is given, but detox from the internet. Anything that you need to know, you will get it. You will get, because once you start tapping into your higher mind and the upper levels of this game, you will be steered where you need to be. You will just know what you need to know. You're not going to get the truth and absolute truth from the very same system that want to keep you a slave. I mean, come on now, this is common sense. Yeah, us introverts have been practicing social. Yeah, I'm used to it. It's a normal day to me. Yeah, like my family will tell you, if I'm not working, doing me, or in a project or performing, I'm either by my, even when I'm with my sister, my family, and all of us, which I spend I'm with them most of the time. Even with them, they know, leave me alone, go off. I need my space. They already know, and they just know, it's understood. They can tell when I need to be in my space, and I need that, and we need that to reset, recalibrate too. Because again, what we're doing is not easy at all. It's tough because when you see, because you don't want to see people hurting and suffering, but no matter how we tell them or what we give to them, if they're not receptive to it, we have to let it be what it is. But because we're so compassionate and have so much empathy, we don't like to see people suffering, and that kind of gets to us. So this is another reason why we have to isolate ourselves as well. So this quarantine is nothing to me. This is normal. Yeah, Cleanliness, this is so true. Cleanliness is the next best thing to godliness. Do not live in a bunch of filth and squalor. I'm going to write an article about that. Again, I touched on this before. Keep your space as clean, neat, and orderly as possible, because where your mind needs to be a reflection of your it is. It's not need to be. It is. It simply is by default. But I need you guys to understand that your external is going to reflect what's going on here. So you notice that people who keep their house and their room really junky and sloppy and nasty, that's a reflection of what's going on in here. People who are orderly, clean, and neat, and like to bathe and like to stay clean, like to smell good, take care of their teeth. These are all mine, by the way. Someone says these are my eyes. People say people put all kind of lies out there, but when you take care of your teeth, your body, or what have you, your mind will. That's a reflection of your mind and true self love, true unconditional love. So no matter who you are, where you are, love yourself like you've never loved yourself before. Take care of your body, love and hug, and thank your body, because your body has a consciousness of its own. Love and take care of your body. Take care of your teeth. Your teeth is connected to all of this. Keep your dwellings clean and neat. Wash all down there. Keep that clean. I'm going to make a suggestion to you guys with this whole toilet tissue scarcity thing. Look up a bidet. It's spelled, I think it's spelled Bidet or Bedit. I'll probably link it in the video. What the bidet does is you can install. It's real easy to install, and what it does is when after you take a number two, you turn it on, and it'll rinse your bottom. It'll rinse it really, really, really clean. So that way, when you wipe, you could use a towel or you can use a clean washcloth. You won't need toilet tissue for that. And you just wash your wash rag out. If you're going to use a wash rag to dry down there. There's some really expensive bidets that have the dryer and the washer and all that installed, but the cheap ones just basically rinse with the same temperature water. The water that comes out is tap water. Those are run between, you can probably get the cheapest, maybe $29, $25, and you cook it up to your toilet stool. The most expensive ones go into the thousands. Invest in something like that, because I cannot tell you guys the difference you feel down there when you go and do and you use a bidet versus just using tissue. Because when you use a tissue, you're not really cleaning. I've always used tissue and baby wipes after, but the bidet makes you and helps you feel even cleaner. Take my word for it. And it may be a little adjusting. It may take a little adjusting or getting used to, but trust me, you get a lot more cleaner. I talked about getting colonics. Look it up. Keep your septic tank as clean as possible. Go invest in some, and I know money may be hard. There's some colonic places where you may be able to get it done. You tell them your money is short, if they would be willing to do it for the budget you have. Some of them, because some of these people are in business because they really care about health, humanity being healthy. These are they're like us. They're really here to be of service to others. They're not chasing clout and money. So if they see that you really want to take care of your body in the most natural way possible, they'll work with you. But that bidet, thank you, fam. It's a French word. Yes, we got one. I'm going to invest in another one. Um, I love it. Yes, I love it. It works wonders. Do you guys got any more questions? That's all I can basically say about this corona. But know that the wavelength that you guys on, that we're on right now, the trajectory is going to be bumpy. It's not going to be smooth sailing. It never is. But it's tearing down the new to make, I mean, tearing down the old to make way for the new. It has to happen, because in the new quiet Christ wave, that new world, I'm not talking about their new world. I'm talking about the new world that we represent, that we are here to bring forth and to anchor in and to help people to become one with. That new world, yes, that all that stuff has to fall away, detach from material things. When you let me tell y'all something. I stopped working for the system. I have not worked a regular 9 to 5 job since 2009. When I came and took this role and stepped into my purpose, I have been doing it ever since. And let me tell you, I have not gone to bed once hungry, even in spite of YouTube, all this stuff, them stealing money and trying to stop me from even when I just start monetizing my videos, they're gonna make sure I don't make anything, which even all the years I monetize, this is about the third year I monetize my video, I only been paid thus far 200, a little over $200. Now there are people on here who don't even have anywhere near as much, make that in 2 weeks. Some people are making that in an hour on here, but that's what they do. They don't want us having anything. But I'm not attached to material things like that. But yes, I do still have bills. I have things that I need to take care of. But I know, and I've seen it again and again and again and again, my needs have always been met. That's what I want to tell you guys. When you walk in that one with the real true Christ and know who you are, and one with the the real game players, okay, I gotta watch what I say. Your needs will be met no matter what. So don't worry about not having enough. When you start worrying, that's when you block what it is that you need. Oh, thank you. KSU Freedom, thank you. Top Dog, what's up? Hundreds and thousands would die from the corona. Yeah, I don't see it getting yeah, those numbers are about right. I didn't want to go there. It's going to be some numbers, but nothing compared to how many people dying from the common flu, HIV. You see what I'm saying? It's all relative, but they're going to blow it up and make it look like everybody. This is just going to take out everybody, and everybody that's been tested positive going to go. No, it's not that. Don't believe the hype. And that's why this is going to fizzle out. But they're going to come up with they cooking up. They got all kind of stuff cooking up. It's going to be something else. Yeah, the flu kills 1 million a year. Yeah, I got issues, by yeah, I know. And let me tell you something. These people who create these algorithms and these bots to do the dirty work. Let me tell you. I see. The thing is, when people are disconnected from how the nature of reality really is, they think that by getting a henchman or getting somebody else to do the work or creating an artificial intelligence to do their bidding, somehow it absolves them. No, it ain't. Everybody that has a hand in all of that, that's your creation. You are responsible for that. That's why I say nobody can escape their shit. It comes out of you. I don't care where you drop it off at, it's still yours. It's connected to you. Nobody can escape their goodness. It goes in the opposite. Those who are planting seeds, righteous seeds of change, we don't escape that either. But we do what we do because it's the right thing to do. We're not doing it for accolades and money and clout and all of that. So before I go, do you guys have any questions for me? Any other questions related to this virus? Again, I can't say everything that I got on this, but if the question falls in line with what is permissible for me to say, I will say it. I have some screw up moderators. Well, the moderators that I've assigned, they're not here, so I didn't assign anybody. No, don't. You all right, Andrew? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna tell you, the people who are most at risk are people who travel a lot, who have traveled, and people who interact with people who have traveled a lot. Now you're gonna see leaders being announced with this as well. There are leaders who have it, but they're not reporting it just yet. People who have people who are behind the scenes who have lots of money are being affected or infected by this. Those who are concerned about your relatives who are elderly, what you do is go over there, keep their areas clean. You can help them. This is what I say. This is the time to don't ask them if they need help. You go over there and you see, they need a little tidying and cleaning up. Just take it upon yourself and do it for them. Their bathroom needs some extra clean. Take it upon yourself to do that. If there's something in the household like things that will like sanitizer, things that like aerosol, Lysol, things like that. You have to go with what your intuition tells you that that person needs or may need. Go with that and just do it, and just keep them in your love vibration. Keep them in your care, meaning in here, and see them covered with golden light. You can help them in other ways, and put your focus on protecting them as many ways as you can versus worrying about them being exposed. That's the way you deal with that. I have a brother. My brother, he had pneumonia a couple of months ago, and I already told him, and he has a lifestyle that puts him high risk, and this has slowed him down. He's paying attention, and I told him, because you have had pneumonia, if you were to come into contact with this, you have a very strong chance of getting it. Not saying that it will take you out, but because of your pre-existing condition, it's once you have the virus that causes pneumonia, it's with you. We all have all kind of viruses with us, but the immune system, keeping the immune system strong and keeping your mind in a place where it's mind over matter is most key here. And again, keeping your body as clean and balanced as possible, and keeping your home, your dwellings as clean and neat as possible is key to getting through this. Now I see within the next 2 weeks, a lot of people are working. You will see that starting to turn around within the next 2 weeks. Although this quarantine is segments of it's going to continue a little while longer, but I don't see this going on for indefinitely or for years. It's just going to be another event that's going to come and trump this. This time next year, the coronavirus will be a thought in the wind on the trajectory we're on now. Okay? All right. The recession has been going on for a while. I told you guys they have been the economy has been collapsed. All they've been doing is artificially holding it up. So the recession is happening as we speak, but they're doing it incrementally. Now, here's where it can veer off. Now, are we going to be one with the energy where it just dissipate and melt away, and there's a better system that's in place where the wealth will be distributed to everyone evenly, mean the wealth that those who have it, they stole from the original inhabitants of the planet. There's tremendous wealth on this planet that has been stolen. In that reality, it will incrementally shift, and the wealth will be given back and redistributed to the people and the bloodlines it was taken from. Or would you align yourself with the reality where they crash the economy? It will be lawlessness, zombies, martial law, just everything you can imagine, and cashless society, and they are in complete total control. That's the worst case scenario. The reality that I'm on, it is an incremental reset, recession. What's the other word? Recalibration. That's the other word. But it's happening incrementally. But yes, there will still be some bumps and bruises even with that. But again, Mind over matter, y'all. Mind over matter. Ascension starts in the mind before the rest follows. Never forget that. Yeah. Are zombies philosophically possible? Yeah. Um, what it basically is, when you look at over and when that's getting in the realm of people who are into voodoo and all that kind of stuff, but it has to be done at a certain time in a certain way with the body that has not been decomposed, not in the way that they show it to such extreme in the movie. And all they're doing is basically making the consciousness that's already left in the body after the mind of the soul and the energy of the person who occupied that vessel before, after they've left, all they're doing is working with the consciousness in the body that's left, the cells that just animates the body. Like I said, the body has a consciousness on its own, but it's not self-aware, it's not intelligent or what have you. So yeah, there's some truth to that. Here in the UK, they promise anyone losing time from work because of virus getting 80% pay. Yeah, see, we are in the timeline. We are on the frequency where those of us who are having a hard time will be given relief. Even if you people who are there are people who have jobs where they they don't have the government paying them and they can't work from home, so they're not making any money. In the timeline that we're on, they will be given relief. The corporations, like mortgage holder, the bankers and stuff like that, there will be reprieves and all kind of stuff given to make this process easier on this timeline. On the other timeline, it's like you on your own. The timeline that when if they the timeline that plays out where their new war order is in place. Oh yeah, it was you like the color court. Yeah, it was intentionally done. I never do anything random. Everything I do is with thought. Everything. I understand the power of color. I understand the color, the power of music, the power of symbols, language, all of that. I have a basic understanding of these things. Again, we're in our dumbed down state. Meaning, once we come in and we become bound by physical body, flesh, and bones, and the laws of the land, but I still know enough to use it in a way that would help me help you guys, and have the maximum impact, and as well as myself, because this is pretty much where I'm sleeping now. Tell it. A lot of marijuana smokers would like to. I said that a long time ago. See, the people who are on that frequency, they won't see it. Again, when your mind eye is when you're elevated in your mind, that's exactly what they look like. So they are in that reality, they are in that world, they are on that frequency. And it's not a judgment, it's not a condemnation, but you see it for what it is. They're on a totally different frequency, even though we're anchored in body. Again, this is this plane, what makes this plane so unique is that you can anchor any level of consciousness here in the same space. But outside of this, that's not allowed. It does not work like that. So here, even though we can look and see someone in the same space as we are, and they look zombie-ish and zombified, those who are on the same frequency as them, they won't see it. Because vibrationally in their mind, they're perceiving differently from us. Their mind is let me stop. Let me stop there. I think I said enough. Thank you, Victor. You love my CIA disclosure of on astral travel. Yeah. Now, again, that was I didn't even know that was leaked, but even by the time they leaked it, it was years after I started openly talking about it in the way that I was, and and when I came out, I was getting a lot of hits. I took a lot of hits because remember, guys, when I started, I was probably I'm willing to bet I'm probably the very first to get on the internet, show my face, and openly speak about astral projection in such a detailed way and in such a vulnerable way, knowing that at that time it was still taboo, and it was not mainstream. It was not mainstream at all. There were people talking about it, but they're mostly older white guys. But there weren't people, especially people that look like me, on the internet sharing their experiences and talking about what I've learned from it on the level that I had. And then what you guys have found, not only was CIA already knowing of all this stuff years before now, like they always do, they know about a lot of stuff before the public become aware of it. But it's just like anything else. They know. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Even though they knew of this years before before it became knowledgeable to the public, I was speaking and sharing things that was in the report. So that goes to show you that the knowledge and the reality of it is real. So you can't say that people who have access to the best equipment and knowledge of things that are hidden come to the same conclusion as someone who's just a little boy, grew up in the hood with no exposure to anything like this. No one was talking about astral projection, out of body travel, and all this stuff when I was coming up. Even when I started in my circle, no one was talking about this stuff. But I knew that it was a part of my mission and part of my job to take the blinders off. And when I did that, it exploded. Others just came out and started sharing their story, and it just took off from there. So now it's mainstream. But although now it's mainstream, like they always do, they take something that is a natural, a normal part, and it's something that we're all capable of consciously tapping into, and we tap into it all the time, but just unconsciously, and try to turn it into a negative. And fear might create fear and terror around it. This is why those videos where people talk about it in a very negative, only negative way, those videos get pushed, promoted, and they hide away people like me. I talk about it from both perspectives. There are pros and cons and positives and negatives and everything. Nothing is all negative and nothing is all positive. Not on this plane, but they want most people to plug into a narrative that supports a dominant service to self, negative, fearful, um, stressful, high anxiety, frequency vibration. And that energy, when you step out and you see it for what it is, it's very slow and it's very thick and it's very dense. It just is. I'm not talking theory. I talk about what I live and have seen time and time again. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to bring this one to a close, but I need you guys to again come and check my channel every Wednesday. From here on out, I will be uploading every Wednesday. I'm not sure when the schedule for my alternate channel, but just check my alternate channel every Wednesday as well. I will let you guys know on that channel when I will be uploading regularly, because I like to be like unpredictable, because it's kind of good not to let the right hand know what the left is doing and vice versa. That's just how I've always moved. So in the past, I would upload when I felt like it. I didn't have a set schedule or what have you, but now I'm going to go ahead and do a set schedule, and I have a reason for that, but I'm not going to mention it right now. So I want to thank all of you guys so much for this moment with me. I'm going to save this video. I may edit it down so it gets right to the point. Oh, wait a minute. How do I only have 48 likes in an hour and a half? And there are 62 people in the room, according to these numbers. I know these numbers can be manipulated, but I need you guys, if you have not hit that like button, please hit it. And yeah, if you hit my like button, please check later, because it has. I've seen it time and time again. It undoes it. They have it where the algorithm will keep the like in ratio to the fake view count numbers. but come back and check the like, because they've rigged it where it's all about likes. It shouldn't be about that, because that can be manipulated. Videos should be just shared and equally shared because of interest, not because somebody liking. That's getting into that ego thing, and it feeds these people who are all about doing any and everything they can to get clout and to be seen. And that's why I really don't like that like mess. I really don't. But I understand the politic of how they have the algorithm operating this entire thing. All right, guys. So you are loved beyond measure. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Continue to question, learn, and grow. And I ain't say this one in a long time. In spite of everything, happy travels. Never forget, nothing happens without a higher force or higher source being somewhere in the background. And that true higher force or source truly does have all of our best interests at heart. All right. Take care. Bye, guys.